It's a great day here at Vestment where we create performance assessments, BI dashboards, and decision analytics to help companies make better decisions, reduce costs, and grow their profits. We hope this SlideShare vlog will help you have a great day too. We've been talking with a lot of our clients lately that say they feel like they're victims of success and that they've collected a lot of the data now, but when should an analytic actually be used to help make a decision? That's really the new question that they have, and we built this analytic discernment model to help with exactly that. So the situation looks sort of like this, especially over the past 5 years. We've really turned on the spigot, and most businesses have more data than ever, whether they're collecting it from the web or from internal sources. That is much more available to many employees, and really the benefit was supposed to be increased with the data becoming more available to employees. But in fact, it feels often not like that. It feels sort of like a lot of data is just going into the trash. Did we win the data battle and that we have available and have collected it, but we're not really analyzing, extracting value from it? And it really feels in that way that we might have lost the war. Tom Davenport recently pointed out that trend. In fact, most interest in analytics has sort of looks like it might have hit a peak and is sort of trailing off, notwithstanding Charles Barkley recently saying that analytics don't apply to basketball. There's really waning interest overall, at least on headlines, on how analytics might be popular as a topic to be researched, and that might be for a variety of reasons. Many of the analysts pointing out here that, as the picture showed earlier, a very small amount of the data we're actually collecting is actually being applied to answer business questions and give us the information helping us with the decisions that we actually need, as Forrester points out. And there's really a quest now to move away from big data and into fast data. Fast data only happens when you have appropriate tools that can be self-service from a business person's perspective to ask a relevant question and then get a relevant answer, as an analyst at 451 Research pointed out. Or our friend Joe Salucci at Enable Consulting says it's really the relevance of the data, not the relationships. It's easy to see the relationships anymore because there's so much data available. Really the key now is being able to extract information from that data. There's really been another study by MGI and McKinsey that point out this gap is really growing over the past over the next 10 years. There's a gap of several 100,000 employees not being able to understand the data, and even more managers, literally in their study, up to millions that do not have the appropriate skills or will need the appropriate skills to make sense of and gain insights from the data. So the way that we frame the problem is not really a data problem, and indeed having the right data is certainly still a big issue in terms of the quality of the data, but we have a bigger analytics problem. Once we have the data, can we actually use it to our advantage? A recent study by Economist Intelligence Unit said less than a third of employees believe they even have access to the data they need, and then are unable to really extract relevant insights from it. So we really need to have more employees with the appropriate skills to make sense of and use the analytics. So the question is, when should you apply analytics to a decision? The discernment model that we have developed really capitalizes on this idea. That is, to get discernment, you need the ability to see, understand things and situations clearly and intelligently from multiple vantage points, and that's really where you get the value. So BI tools really help extract the value by expanding our ability as humans to understand things in multiple dimensions. The three areas that we've seen make really a decision always appropriate for an analytic are these three that we're outlining here. The first is about cadence of the situation. That is, the decision that you have to make, is it something that's going to be repeated? Asking questions often about our customers, where they like to shop, how old they are, when are sales occurring. And certainly information that you're getting from clickstream data to ask those questions fit this. Repeated decisions that require evaluation of alternatives definitely benefit from analytics, more so than one-off kinds of questions. So first, asking yourself, does the cadence, is it appropriate for an analytic, is the first key to extracting value and gaining discernment. The second area is about duration. If you're in your situation where you have to answer or make some kind of a decision, does it have the appropriate duration to allow for the data collection, analysis, and visualization? As good as these tools are, and again, self-service is coming, and there's definitely things that are cutting down the time it used to take to set those up, you still need the appropriate amount of time to do that. So don't expect that the data is just going to give you the decision on its own. You still have to use the tools appropriately to set it up. So the duration really matters about whether or not you're going to be able to extract value appropriately. The third area is about significance. How important is the answer to that question that you're going to ask? If it's very important and there's big impact, it's much more likely to be suitable for some kind of analytic. Otherwise, you just might as well use a heuristic based on your own business judgment and acumen. You can make a choice. So pulling that together into a model, you can see how a number of decision opportunities could be plotted in this space. Pharma's drug development might be in the upper right, or maybe an online store analyzing different consumer click streams and what sort of things they actually want to buy. Indeed lend themselves to those kinds of questions in the upper right. What you're going to have for lunch today is probably going to be in the lower left, and you might as well just use a decision heuristic because those are going to be based on your personal preferences, and trying to apply an analytic model to those kinds of choices may not be appropriate. As the tools get better, we're going to see that analytic indifference curve push down to the lower left, allowing more and more business questions to be appropriate because it will have the appropriate cadence, significance, and duration for the questions to be asked, and that's really what the tools are doing for us. So in sum, we really see that big impact decisions that have the appropriate cadence, duration, and significance really can benefit from analytics. Now the key is to pair employees to really apply that kind of logic and benefit by using analytics at the right time and place. We provided some references for further research. You want to look into that of your own, and we invite you to visit us over at Vestment, where we have great tools that help our clients with these kind of decisions every day.